All right, we're back. Welcome, new week, new opportunities, new challenges. Let's get straight into it. We're gonna assess our loss from Friday. We had a 25 RR 26, and yeah, like up until we SFP'd here, Price was doing what we had expected it to do essentially. Um, Obviously, I took a very low time frame entry on the 1 minute, as we saw here. Then yeah, we broke, I believe, the 10 or the 15 it was. Let's have a look. I think it was the 10 minute which we broke. Um, Actually, we broke the 5. I stand corrected. So yeah, we broke the 1, we broke the 5. And then our next was pretty much the 30 minute, which we SFP'd, as you can see. We failed twice to close below this low. And then, as I said in the Friday video, we were actually leaving a buy side liquidity trail above us through these really nice lower highs forming. Perfect for the market maker to take it out. I'm just trying to look because I'm noticing it's a little bit laggy, but that'll do for now. And yeah, and we didn't even touch this demand below us. We front ran the demand, ran it all the way up, and took out our stop loss. Which yeah, I had the I had my reasons as to why this could fail, but then at the end of the day, if a lot of other confluences are presenting themselves, then you have to enter at the end of the day, back yourself. And yeah, and not to mention with me, one of the biggest confluences outside of this fairly high time frame return to zone is how well we reacted off this supply, which you can see here. Like, it was a beautiful reaction off this supply, which just indicated that price was struggling. And yeah, nevertheless, we got stopped out. Are there any more opportunities to enter? As of now, this model 1 is technically still valid. Don't get me wrong. We've just made one extra high. Would you enter? I don't know. It's tough. At least now, I didn't enter off this break of structure. The only thing I would do in this situation is look for one last very refined entry should price come back up here. What would this refined entry look like for me? It would be a mitigation of this supply zone. That is the only thing that would make me interested in entering. Other than that, I'm not fast. And then yeah, not to mention we do still have this demand below us, which price can very well react from. We've obviously taken Asia highs and lows. But yeah, as of now, my only interest is an entry of this 2-hour supply. Yeah, that's it for USD CHF from me. We'll see what what the market gives us. All right. Next. Oh, shout out sparkling water, eh? Too good. Too good. We'll go from the top. Now, some of these I have charted earlier throughout the day, so it might be a little bit off. We have failed this range. As of now, this pair I'm not interested in until it hits either of these key either supply or demand levels. So far we have hit the supply level. Is that valid? That is. Pretty sure. This whole, this can be used as a structure supply. That's fine. But yeah, and for this pair, that's kind of it for now. We are showing signs of strength for now. So yeah, we're kind of in between these demand and supply POIs, so we'll see what sort of reactions we'll get. In the higher time frame, it is worth remembering we are in an already confirmed accumulation model, so we can expect eventually a full rotation to this range high up here. So we do want to look for accumulations. But however, it is to know that we still do have demand blow-ups, which can get mitigated. So it just depends on what confirmations we get and how high probability the setups are. We kind of have this little accumulation form here, not the cleanest, but it is pretty close to hitting its range high. Should it? But yeah, that's it for Euro USD for now. Let's move on. I wouldn't really count this as a range, just because it's essentially just upwards market structure. You can see it pretty clearly. So yeah, this isn't really a rangy price action. It's just simply market structure. Therefore, I will not be focused on drawing a range at the moment until I see some more price movements. You could technically use this as a range. And we do something like this. I would allow that. High time frame wise, that can still count. That can still work. And give us a slow uptrend up into this extreme liquidity POI, creating all this sell side below us, which can be quite nice to create that third tap for a move down. So yeah, I would say an accumulation can be within our favor. But let's see what happens. this AUD USD potential distribution model I had charted up has been quite evidently invalidated over here. And same thing right now, nothing really I'm interested in doing. I need to give price some more time to create some form of range. And yeah, we did front run this potential third tap POI over here. We created our tap 1, we created our Wyckoff low, we created our tap 2, but we never swept this extreme liquidity POI. Therefore, there was never ever a reason to enter this short or this short of a distribution. We'll move on. Bear with me, guys. We're doing a quick sweater change. All right, let's get into it. USD CAD. This range is pretty much invalidated. Just because we've come so low and have already mitigated the extreme demand. I would expect price to tap into this supply a little bit deeper. Therefore, as of now, I'll be looking for accumulations, but yeah, you're in a semi-awkward position at the moment because you got this demand below and then you got this supply above us. Therefore, I would think that this supply would first get mitigated before we move down into this demand. But anything can happen. We're just going to look for confirmations. And as of now, nothing is presenting itself. GBP JPY. And as I called it, this expansion is continuing to expand downward. We may get an accumulation here, temporarily. The only thing I would like to see is if there's any POIs here that we might reject from. I'm just putting this down as a guide to see where I was or where this accumulation is forming. And I'm not really seeing much demand anywhere, really. Technically this, which is valid, and I have a feeling we may have actually reacted off this quite nicely. I have a feeling we did. This is the only valid demand blocking here I'm going to use, and it's also hasn't really taken anything from this move. Yeah, this will be our demand. Like, it's demand, it's valid demand, but it hasn't really done anything to the left. Like, it didn't really sweep anything. It's just there. Did we get a reaction from it? Not yet. So yeah, unless you get a pristine return to zone, this accumulation is kind of in no man's land. And you are in pretty much a confirmed PR3 schematic, which you can expect to hit this range low. So yeah, you're going to need some very high probability schematics if you want any type of accumulation in here. But nevertheless, we will chart this as if it's a high probability. This is valid extreme liquidity. No real extreme demand with the exception of this. And yeah, we kind of have we do have supply above us. Let's just see what it looks like on the lower time frame. This has been mitigated. Yeah, so we do have quite a bit of supply above us. Wouldn't recommend taking this accumulation unless this has been mitigated. Duration wise, it seems alright. 12, 13 hours almost. Oh yeah, we've got quite a bit of structure supply above us as well. Yeah, you can kind of use this as a daily supply OBIF. Very valid. But yeah, price is showing every single sign here that it wants to continue a downtrend. Oh, it wants to continue this expansion. So I wouldn't really be looking for longs at the moment. And also taking into consideration the context, you are in extreme premium of a very, very high time frame range. So yeah, that's GBP JPY for now. Let's go to GBP NZD. We do seem to be running through this demand POI quite nicely. This seems to be our next. Which is valid for our structure demand. technically speaking, as of now, this can be a range. So we'll see what will happen. Just based on this demand POI, I would like to see a nice reaction, a nice accumulative reaction to the supply POIs above us. We are obviously in a somewhat of a confirmed distribution model, but nevertheless, there's some nice supply above which I wouldn't mind getting taken out beforehand. And then also, given we have this nice demand below us, I can expect somewhat of a decent reaction from it. Therefore, I will use this as a potential ranging environment. So it will be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, we'll let this do its thing. Euro GBP. Yeah, still, you can see I plan this range out. We're still yet to confirm if we're forming a potential distribution or accumulation. So we will wait there, and very aggressive price movement within this range for now. And we do have demand here backed by what I believe may be the let's have a look. So we have demand here. It's kind of backed by the volume area EQ. But then you can see it is essentially a manipulation, as it's created all within the London session. We'll see what happens there. And I'm going to it's not a valid accumulation, because this is our range starting point, and then that, technically speaking, that's our Wyckoff high. So, but you can't pull this range like this, or apologies for I'm just going to redraw this. This is not a valid range pull, because in an uptrend, you pull your range from top to bottom, and we are in an uptrend for now. This 4-hour candle has not closed. This is a valid. Sorry, bear with me. Yeah, so this is our market structure high, because we have 2 consecutive bullish candles, and then we have 2 consecutive bearish candles. So you can only pull your range from here. But this is not a valid range, because technically speaking, price is now forming some form of accumulation model, but your range high has to be your Wyckoff high. This is not our Wyckoff high, this is our Wyckoff high in between, because the Wyckoff high is in between tap 1 and 2. Therefore speaking, this is an invalid range. I hope that makes sense. If we were downtrending, then You would pull your range like this, with this being the correct Wyckoff high, and then you can look for an accumulation model. But this is an incorrect range pull because we are overall in an uptrend. And you can validate the uptrend by looking at what is the highest time frame this uptrend is valid on, and it is the 4 hour. You can draw market structure to prove it. Bang, we've broken structure to the upside. I mean, now technically forming some form of pullback. So we could either go like this, or we could, bear with me, or we could do this, because we've now broken structure. Structure has been broken. Therefore, the expectational order flow is obviously a higher low for a higher high. And as you can see, it's pretty much exactly what price is doing. But you just can't pull your range from here. That's it for Euro NZD. Look at we've already kind of established what's happened here from our last move. I'm just going to be monitoring this to see what happens. We are here in kind of a confirmed distribution model. All this has been mitigated. Yeah. I remember as to why I never entered here, but I should have entered. Yeah. Like, I guess we are forming nice lower highs, which might get taken out, but even this seems to me like a manipulation, which it is, because you can see here it's all happening during the London session. So we've had quite a bit of a manipulative London session across a various amount of pairs today, which isn't always the case. Right now, I wouldn't mind catching some form of accumulation here, which can be used to take out all these highs, but we'll see. That's it for now. This is all invalidated. Technically speaking, this can be used as a ranging environment. We've mitigated all demand below us, which can be seen here. This will technically be my extreme liquidity. Now, there's not much here up until this very large POI above us. Yeah, that's all been mitigated. Yeah, I'm kind of just wanting to see what this pair does. AUD CAD. We're actually forming some nice potential accumulation here. Given we don't exceed this range high. I'm going to use this as my extreme liquidity. And yeah, we can expect price to go high just because we have so much supply above us, which should most likely get mitigated before a big move down. And ZCAD. Don't mind this. We may have just missed a textbook Model 1 accumulation here. Very nice. Yeah, this would have been confirmed in an awkward time this morning in after hours, which is, yeah, as I've said before, not ideal. You don't want to be entering in after hours. Obviously, it was morning Australia time, but still, you don't want to be entering in after hours full stop. In terms of a potential retest opportunity, we might not get one, to be fair. If anything, you might be able to scalp something in here. Maybe. But yeah, otherwise this return zone is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And yeah, even this demand POI you can see on the lower time frame has been mitigated. However, this may have not been mitigated. This is technically valid. Like just, yeah. We'll have them both here and see what reactions we get. But I do like this demand POI more than this one, which is ideally a better POI to be used regardless. So we'll see what happens here. And yeah, we've seen many times lower time frame Model 1s turning into higher time frame Model 2s, where we get something like this, which is, yeah, you have your Model 1 low time frame, tab 1, 2, and 3, or you have your higher time frame Model 2 with your tab 1, 2, and 3. So there is my pre-planning for this one. Let's go to our commodities. We are starting to run through this demand. Nothing here really for me to chart. Gold. This range is obviously done. Yeah, the only thing I wouldn't really take this. I shouldn't even be charting this, to be fair. Yeah, two reasons. Quite a bit of demand below us, which should be used as which you most likely get a good reaction from. No real POI here, and no reason for price to just all of a sudden accumulate. And then, last but not least, we do have supply above, I believe. 15-minute supply OBIF there, which has swept all these highs. And even more structured supply. So yeah, this should not be looked at as an accumulation model. You know what? For the purpose of the exercise, we'll keep the range here, but more so as a visual representation where you can see that we have supply above and demand, which has not been mitigated. Therefore, we should be getting a range a little bit lower, not just in this no man's land. Let's have a look at oil. Nothing really to see on oil for the time being. One other thing I wanted to throw on here before I go is the extreme liquidity here. Technically, you do have this as well, but this is just in a bit more of a. It just makes sense for you to use this one as opposed to this in the demand. Why does it make sense, you may ask? Because there's a chance that price may respect this demand and never sweep this liquidity. Whereas, there's liquidity here which can get swept, and then if this demand gets mitigated as well, then that is all the confluence you need. All right. That's it. Everything has been set out. Everything has been pre-planned. We are now ready for an amazing week ahead of us. Hope you guys are too. And yeah, don't trade expectations, trade confirmations. Thank you guys for listening and viewing. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.